Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Outlook series. As always, we start our week off by checking the Forex Factory economic calendar and the earnings report for this week. So, for this week, it's a pretty special week. We have the federal fund interest rates being reported on Wednesday. So, Monday, we don't have any high impact news, and it's a day that I don't trade. But if you do trade, I would always again wait for the 9:30 open. For me, myself, I no longer trade Mondays and I let Monday tell me what the week is going to do. And I like to wait for the true weekly open that happens on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have an orange folder news at 10 a.m. with no high impact news. On this specific day, I'll be waiting for the 9:30 open to attack. On Wednesday, I will be avoiding the AM session and waiting until the second news release that you can see here at 2:30 to be released. There is a two-stage news when it comes to FOMC, and you always want to wait till at least 15 minutes or so after this news release has been released. If for some reason your schedule does not align with this, it's also the last few hours of the day. There's only 2 hours that you can actually trade after that. So sometimes it's best just to avoid Wednesday, come back Thursday ready to go. On Thursday, we have the 8:30 news for unemployment claims. On this specific day, we also have 10 a.m. news. So that's very likely to be a great day, a lot of volatility, specifically after FOMC gives us the direction for the rest of the month. On Thursday, I will be waiting again for the 9:30 open to be taking any trades. On Friday, we don't have any high impact news or medium impact news, but I will still be waiting for the 9:30 open on Friday as well to execute. On the earnings release calendar, as you guys can see, there is no Magnificent Seven stocks, so therefore there's nothing that we really need to pay attention to. So let's go ahead and get into the charts. Alrighty, so here we are on the daily time frame for the E-mini Nasdaq March 2026 contract. And as you guys can see, we have invalidated the buy program by all of last week's price action, as you guys can see. So as of right now, we are in a sell program on the daily time frame, and until we close above the same area that we were using as support before, I expect lower prices. If we close back above this civvy here that was created and this area here that we've had on the charts now for about 2 weeks, then the buy program would be back. So for now, it is possible that we stay inside of the range of these two areas to chop around until we either, like I said, close above, come back to use this as support to continue higher, or on the contrary, we come here, close below, and then use this same area as resistance to continue lower into the September low. So those are the scenarios that I'm waiting for and expecting for this specific week. We could either consolidate in these two ranges until FOMC, or close above to invalidate the current sell program, or continue the sell program, close below this area on the daily, and then seek further liquidity on the downside. Very simple, very straight to the point, in my opinion. To be very clear, this now becomes the invalidation of a sale program. So now let's go ahead and go into the 1 hour time frame to get a closer look at where I would like to take trades from for this specific week. All right, so here we are on the 1 hour time frame, and as you guys can see, the same levels that we've had on the charts for weeks now are continuously working over and over and over again. So if you guys haven't already have the same levels on your charts, or if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, I would highly recommend you guys go back and check those out, just so you guys can see why I chose these areas and what specific areas they are. So this specific week opened inside of this point of interest that I gave before this last week's price action. Random, right? That's where the new week opening gap is at. Now, currently we have traded back above the true day open, and in my opinion, this is just a pullback to continue lower. So again, I'd be waiting for some sort of sequential SMT Right now we have a hidden SMT with YM, but I would still like to see some more price action come into play, and then a much higher probability SMT, like a session SMT that we had here last week that formed a high here to then continue lower. So for now, inside of here, we can range bound. For the moment we close below this, I would like to see speed to take that previous weekly low. So as you guys can see, this is looking like a very good market maker sub model where this is the left side of the curve. And then from here on is the right side of the curve. To make that a visual representation, this would be the left, and the remaining price action would be the right side of the curve. Where previous weekly low is the sell side liquidity, and it would also invalidate the quarterly S&T that we've established here. And in my opinion, that would be a very bearish sign. So with that being said, guys, pay attention to open, high, low closes for this specific week until we invalidate those specific areas on the daily time frame. Plan your trades and trade your plan. Good luck and good trading.